Hello, this is Stonehearth. I'm going to create a new game. This is the story of a brave band of settlers from the Ascendancy. So these guys are earnest and hardworking, loyal and well-rounded citizens of the Ascendancy, chop, build and farm, confident that the known world is theirs to inhabit. And then there's Raya's children. The people of the desert learned early that to survive they needed each other, and preferably as many others as they could reach. Now visitors find them generous hosts with access to goods from all over the world. So I'm going to go with these guys just because I think this one's more complicated. This one I know. It's basically just normal chopping wood and stone and making stuff out of that. The other guys use like mud to make bricks, so it's a bit weirder. So I'm going to pick continuing this here. A brave band of settlers from the Ascendancy, a prosperous and industrious kingdom. Seeking new lands and adventure, they set off to, and I'm going to pick the temperate biome, because I don't want to mess with the desert. A location that is sure to be, I can pick peaceful, normal, or hard. I am absolutely going to pick peaceful. So, now you get this random roll of characters. Now, this game is another you build a little village type of game. You start off with these 7 people, and over time, if you meet the criteria of having enough money and your people being happy, each day you'll get a new person. So these stats are the mind, so their ability to think intelligently. A high mind stat allows a Hearthling to excel in complex mental activities such as crafting, influences diligence, curiosity, and inventiveness. The next stat is body, competence at physical activities. Hearthlings with a high body stat will move a bit faster, attack harder, and live longer. Influences muscle, speed, and stamina. And then finally there's spirit, faith in other people. A high spirit Hearthling will easily befriend animals and stand strong against enemies. Influences courage, willpower, and compassion. So to be honest, I don't care that much about that because I have no enemies, so it's only about befriending animals, which is always nice. It's kind of a weird thing though, because the person who's going to befriend the animals is actually going to be the hunter who's got this trapper's knife. So somehow he convinces his friends to give up their skin and meat. So you have random stats for all of these people. I can roll new citizens by clicking this. I can do it a couple of times. I'm not really got any major goal with this. So mind is good to have for the tasks that require getting good at. In this case, you're basically a simple town of you're going to mine wood, chop wood, you're going to mine stone and other metals. And so you're going to have a carpenter who's going to cut up the wood and produce furniture and stuff like that. You're going to have a stonemason, you're going to have a blacksmith. So these kinds of skills, they do require a fair bit of skill. So as your people do them, they get better and level up at that skill. And then based on that, they get access to new recipes and things like this. So mind is good to have for specific tasks if you want somebody to be a carpenter for a long time. Body, which is your muscle, speed, and stamina. So this affects how much they carry, how quickly they move. This is good to have high up for everybody because why not? And in this case, I actually do have a good roll here with mostly high numbers. And then finally spirit, like we said, it was for animals. So I actually have quite a lot of spirit here, pretty low on the mind. So I'm going to roll this a bit more just to get... Yeah, this is a good mix. I've got a couple of 4s and 5s in the 2 traits that I really care about. That'll do. So now you can pick 150 gold worth of stuff. The farmer's knife is a difficult thing to get because you need to first build a carpenter and then a stonemason, and then you end up getting a blacksmith, and then finally after leveling up a bit, the blacksmith can build a trapper's knife. But that is going to take a fair bit of time, so as a shortcut, depending on what you're planning on doing, you could just get a trapper's knife from the get-go. Or you can start with a farmer's hoe, and then unfortunately you can only pick one of these because this takes all your budget. And you can only pick one of these, so you can only pick one farmer's hoe. Farmer's hoe is pretty easy to make, so I'm actually just going to go with this trapper's knife because I don't need extra food or anything like that. So I'm going to pick that, embark. Random map again, and you can look around. The area that's highlighted is what's going to be actually on my map. So I'm going to be able to play in this area, walk around in it. And on the right there, it shows you, it's the plains or it's the foothills or the mountains. I think there's also a forest somewhere, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it shows you the breakdown of how many trees and plants you have in the area, what the wildlife situation is, so that's for hunting, how many minerals you have. You don't really need access to water, it's not a thing. Really, your main concerns are wood, space to grow food if that's how you're inclined, or space to hunt wildlife if that's how you're inclined. Conveniently, they're both pretty easy to get because woods typically have wildlife, as do plains. So they're almost everywhere except in the mountains. And then, trees and plants are easy to see and stuff like that. So I usually pick something like a fairly forested area near the base of a nice mountain. And I do like to have water around just for the view. So I'm going to go ahead and actually pick a spot like here. Hey. That was a cat moving the mouse. I think right here is pretty good. I will be starting in a mountain, so actually on a mountain tile, which means that I can't start farming directly under where my dudes are. But I think that's fine, because basically my first order is going to be... Well, we'll see. Let's pick it. So you start out, this is the big map area that I picked. Nice big area. And I actually wanted to start somewhere here, near this little lake. So you can right click to drag around, look around. You can zoom with the scroll wheel, you can move around with the WASD keys, and I think you can probably drag with the middle button. There you go. With normal click, left click, you will pick stuff. But anyway, first thing I need to do is place this banner somewhere. So this is nice because there's already food growing here, so that's a handy, emergency supply. But it's going to be pretty far if I start way up here. So how about I actually just start kind of here on this corner, because then I have pretty easy access up to this hill. I can get up there and I can eventually... No, actually, I was thinking, I could expand up to there and then build some houses up here, because I do want nice houses with a view. But by the time I get dug all the way up there, I absolutely want to have a house up already. So actually, let's just start up here. I'll pick a nice corner here that's clear. Put the flag there. Got a nice fireplace already. That's what you start with. I can move it if I want. Same with the flag. I can move it if I want. Fair Charybdis Valley. No. We are the town of Herpaderp. There we go. So I'm going to pause it. You can pause with the one key on the keyboard. 2 is normal speed, 3 is super speed. So these are my dudes. You can see what they're all doing. They're immediately going to start dropping stuff. So actually I'll let them go ahead and do that. I'm going to start queuing up some orders, because I'm going to need a lot of wood. This is going to take a while. But as soon as they're done this one, well, there's a few, I'm going to dig a path down here. And actually, you don't need to start off with paths. You can just build a ladder. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. There's one ladder to get here. We're already up there. Next ladder is going to be to drop down here. There. And then probably one more here. There we go. So they're going to go ahead and build those. Should be pretty quick. Well, there's the first one already. So there's already people kind of standing around idle. So I'm going to go ahead and start mining, because I'm going to create a nice path down to the bottom. Now you can make a nice tunnel or something, but to be honest, I don't care that much about how it's going to look. So I'm going to go ahead and just start there. 15. Make this one 14. Make this one 13. So they'll tunnel out a nice little ramp going down. I can also even start Yeah. The problem is you can't drag upwards in this game. So they've done this nice, 3D dragging and stuff, and apparently once you have one set, you can click on it and... oh, there's a mining zone. Maybe I'm on crack. I swear there used to be something you'd click and it would say click and drag to extend upwards, and I can no longer see that. Oh wait, no, yeah. Click and drag to dig downward. Oh, okay, I guess that makes sense. I think I was just reading it wrong because I'm an idiot. Okay, so there we go. There's that. I have no idea how big that was. This one is 10. 11. So then let's make this one 10. 9. 8. The problem with making too many at once is that you can get people, well, some of them will just dig straight down along the bottom, some of them will do other stuff, and then you end up with this horrible mix of all kinds of tunnels and whatever. And you also get this situation happening where I've queued up some dig orders and there's apparently somebody gonna dig this one, but I have no idea. It's probably one of these guys and they're stuck in the air. So maybe if I dig those two, oh, there we go. Is that gonna happen? Oh no, it's this guy. Everybody's waiting for this guy to get his ass over to dig out those two squares. I guess that's pretty normal with this sort of game. I'm gonna quickly pause while I deal with this. I also want them to clear out the area a bit because... So, Mur Burleyhands has come up to my town. Welcome to Herpaderp, Mur. Welcome to the area, Embarkees. Here's a gift to get you started. 2 baskets of turnips. So that's handy because it's going to be food, which I am going to need at some point. And actually, on that note, I have tons of stuff scattered around, so let's actually clean this up. So you can designate zones. I'm going to make a stockpile. I think 20 by 20 is the maximum size, and I'll just go ahead and do that. Make a stockpile for absolutely everything. And let's get them going on that. Good. Now I can see what the hell's going on here. So, 7, 6. God damn it. 5. That'll fit easily. It'll be a bit extra. I'm sure there's the standard height one of these levels is, and if I cared to note what the hell it is, I could make these stairs perfectly line up every time, but I guess I just don't care enough. Normally I would do something more, just do 5 at a time, level by level, because then you get a nice tunnel going and you can still walk over the top part, but I guess I don't care, and in this case I kind of want it to be a boundary. So this will kind of cut this area off from the rest of the stuff, and then here I will probably end up making just like a little chill out zone, kind of like this fireplace already is. Maybe put a couple of fireplaces and some benches or something. It'll be lovely. Okay, so I'm gonna get rid of some of these trees. They're kind of in the way. And I also now have access to this area, which is nice land where I can grow stuff. And I absolutely want to grow stuff because that's the easiest way to get some food going. But first I'm going to need to assign somebody to be a farmer. So if you look here, I don't have a farmer because I've been neglecting making a carpenter. Yeah, okay, so... And I picked having a trapper's knife. This is what happens when you play and you're a bit absent-minded. So my trapper, I want to have high spirit. So I'm going through these guys. He's got 5 spirit. Alright then. Olive inverse, you are going to be the trapper. So you go here, you go change jobs. And these are the jobs I have tools for. So there's the no job, there's the carpenter job, and then here is the trapper. So I'm going to go ahead and approve this guy's promotion to trapper. At the same time, I also do need a carpenter. And he's going to be a carpenter for a while, so it was this guy. He's got 5 mind, so that's going to let him go all the way up in skill quickly. So I'm going to have him become the carpenter. Oops. So, as soon as that happens, I think I already have the trapper, so now I can set a trapping ground. So I'll look around where's some animals. Normally you see them kind of prancing around. Don't see anything. Maybe they're a bit more down here. Let's get a different angle. Well, for now, to make it not too far away, let's put one somewhere like this. And then one maybe down here, because I do expect to be around here fairly often, thanks to having the fruit trees here. If I do start running out of food at some point, that's the nice backup always. You can just come down here. Actually, I might as well queue an order for that now. Where's harvest? Gather. There we go. Gather up all these berries. Put them somewhere handy. So basically, Hearthlings live day to day pretty relaxed. No idea what this guy's doing here. Okay, that's my carpenter, right. So now he's actually picked up his thing, his saw. So I can go ahead and say, okay, this is the interface for the carpenter. The other ones are pretty much the same. You can search, which I just noticed now. And then you can, of course, click through all the different stuff he can build. So, you know, you've got... start with this workbench, because that's something that I absolutely need. And I'm going to say... go ahead and maintain one of them in your inventory at all times. Same with this carpenter tool bench. I'm going to need a carpenter of level 2 for this, and it needs a placed carpenter tool workbench to build this. But I'm going to go ahead and queue the order anyway. I'm going to say maintain one of them in inventory. That's going to have this exclamation mark because I can't actually do it, but you know, whenever I actually end up able to do it, then he will go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to queue up some things that I absolutely am going to need quickly, like window frames. So I'm going to say go ahead and... okay, wait, actually he's probably built this one already. Oh, maybe they're all sleeping. Where are they? Oh yeah, okay. I guess they're eating. Came here, picked some fresh berries, decided to stop and eat in the middle of the night. It's not like they got a bed anyway, so whatever. But as soon as that's actually built, right now I have nothing to place. So normally in this place item interface, you get a list of all your shit, like furniture, things you've manufactured. Actually, I basically just think it is furniture. And like storage chests and shit. And then from here you can place it somewhere. So right now, I'm actually not sure what the hell's going on, so you can click here and see what's up. So Liam is eating a plate of berries. He should be able to do his job. So what's going on? What's up, Liam? Where the hell's that thing I ordered? God damn it. So what's up with this? Okay, let's just add another order to craft like 2 of these right now. Let's put that first. Okay, where the hell is he? Oh yeah, he is actually crafting it. I don't know what the hell he was doing. Maybe he was taking a break. Maybe he felt he needed a specific piece of wood that was somewhere across the field. He had seen it on his walks in the morning. This piece of wood that reminded him of Jesus. And he just really wanted to make it into a workbench. So he could have that face staring up at him as he hammered stuff. Okay, there, he's built 3 of them, so this is what it looks like. I'm going to go ahead and place it. And for now, I'm just going to stick it here, because it doesn't matter where it goes. Eventually, I will move this stuff, because I will build him a proper carpenter's house somewhere. But for now, that's not a super urgent thing. I guess I should put him somewhere. Actually, somewhere up here near the forest, near the lake would be nice, I guess, because he's going to be one of the first houses. I think, logically, as a carpenter, his house would be made first. since he's the guy doing most of the work with the furniture and shit. He'd be like, well, you know, I guess I could make you a bed, or I could just go and work on my own house. And then everybody would be like, okay, fine. We'll build your house. Okay, so they're all gonna go chop all that wood. Did this ladder get built? Yes, it did. So I can also harvest this. So I'm just gonna add an order for that too. Hopefully, like, just 1 or 2 people will split off to do this instead of 1 each for these 6 bushes. Because that would be a very effective use of labor. Oh yeah, and here's my traps. So you can see he set 1 trap. This one actually captured something, I think. Oh, it's dead. I guess it died in the cage. My cat is going crazy, tearing up a box beside me. So if you hear weird noises, that's him. Okay, so what happens often with the this guy, this trapper, who should be hunting animals and providing me food? Often he forgets to come out to pick this up, or I guess he's too busy or whatever. And basically, yeah, the animal just dies in the cage, and then the meat, I think, disappears, and then the cage disappears or something, or it just ends up empty. Oh, look at that, this bunny. Oh, come on, bunny. Grab the bait. Oh, come on. Yeah! How's them apples? I think that was even like bunny meat or something. He's a cannibal bunny. In which case, nobody should feel sad. So, they're all up here clearing this, and now moving the wood around. And now I can show you what it looks like when you actually want to build a house. So here there's house, place building. So you can have custom buildings, which I've built a few. And you can have, of course, some that came with the game, just templates included by default. I actually do find this to be a pretty nice carpenter's house. I think it's probably better than mine. And my medium workshop is just a box. So I am going to go with the carpenter house. I'm not sure if it's even easy to build this actual house yourself, because they do seem to use some weird architectural stuff, like a lack of wall here, which I think is easy to do, but then this roof is different, like the 2 roofs are different, and it's got this little extra. So basically I think they went and made this like a custom thing. But I'm going to go ahead and build this probably right here, so that he can look out over the lake while he works. Yeah, but something like this. So building number 1, that's fine. Honestly, I'm not that picky about names of these, but carpenter's house. So this is everything I need to build it. Now I don't have most of it, but that's fine. I can either... I'm not sure if it'll automatically queue up the orders for this, or if I will have to do it myself, but I intend on building all this furniture myself anyway. I think it'll be fine. It'll just build the house what it can when it actually can, and then as the different pieces come in over time, it'll get added to the house. So I'm going to go ahead and build. Yes, start building. I'm going to close this. I'm going to look at my update. So, based on how much food I have and how much my net worth is, I can get, you know, a new person to join my town. But especially at the beginning, this is going to be pretty slow going, because your actual value is based on produced goods, which I'm not going to have too many of. And yeah, the food situation will be dire for some time. Hopefully we do not have to resort to cannibalism like that bunny, but we'll see how it goes. Actually, I might have a look at the job. So it's not very, you know, you don't have that many options as far as this goes, but there are some. And actually, as you can see, my apprentice trapper already has build and mine disabled. So all he will do is haul stuff back and forth and do his job. But apparently, he would rather just go carry shit than actually do his fucking job of opening these goddamn cages. Like, this bunny is just imprisoned for days in a cage in the forest, and there's no way the meat's still going to be good. I mean, he's alive, but he's starving. But that's how it goes. Oh, foxes. Don't they look cute and tasty? So yeah, you can actually get by perfectly well, I think, with just vegetables, just growing plants and stuff, being a farming utopia if you do not like the idea of killing animals. I'm not sure if a variety of food gives your people like a food buff or, makes them happy or not. I've played this a fair bit, but I've played a lot of earlier versions. A new version just came out recently. Well, this is apparently release 701, but it's like alpha 19 or 21 or something around there. And their new thing is that there's now traits. So these people should have... Okay, there's the morale, and then they have traits. Like this pioneering spirit, ate a tasty meal. I think maybe the job will eventually give them some traits as well. So if he has a job, he'll get some traits. And there's a slider of their happiness, so get happy. That doesn't work. Hopefully it's not going to drop too far. They're not happy because they slept on the floor, so that's going to be also a priority quickly, as soon as my carpenter's thing is done. On that note, I can have a quick look at the carpenter's job queue. So as you can see, he's now actually building, he's queued up a lot of the stuff that I need for that house. So he has these lanterns, wooden wall-mounted lanterns. He's got a few of them queued up to build. He's also got this sign, which he can't actually build yet because I think it requires... Don't know. It's got an exclamation mark, so maybe he will do it after, or maybe he's already built enough. Don't know. It says he can't. This can't. Craft requirements. Oh, hey, that's why. A wooden wall sign. So you need a wooden wall sign to make a carpenter's wall-mounted sign. So there's the wooden wall sign. Let me also just craft one of these there. And actually, I'm going to also give him just some standing orders to maintain a lot of everything. Because I'm going to need doors. I'm going to need windows. Some nice diamond windows. Yeah, I guess I could need some of them. There's nice wide windows. I like to have a variety of windows in my architecture. Sometimes perhaps too many windows. But you can't be sure. And there we go, some more lanterns. So basically this guy's just going to be building this shit all the time. Every now and then he's going to discover some new recipes, I guess, or blueprints or whatever. Oh, fuck. Yeah, chairs too. I need chairs and beds. Goddamn. Okay, so actually I'm going to need a lot of beds, and I'm going to need them fairly quickly, so I'm going to drag this... Drag this all the way up here. So he should do that as soon as this sign is built, maybe. I'm also going to need chairs. The nice thing about having a lot of these built already is that every now and then you get somebody coming by, like a merchant, and they are like, they'll buy your stuff. And the more of these, every time you build something like a simple wooden chair, there's a chance that it'll come out as a fine wooden chair. And in that case, it's actually going to be worth a bit extra. So I like to maintain a stockpile of them. And then in addition to that, when the merchant comes by, you can sell him a bunch of stuff. Plus, sometimes they'll come by and say, hey, if you give me like 9 beds, I'll come back in 3 days and give you something else pretty valuable, or hopefully of equal value. And sometimes that's just stuff that you really can't build yourself because it's inconvenient or you haven't yet gotten that far in the technology tree. And then it pays off. But sometimes they give you like a really garbage trade, like give me a bunch of beds and I'll give you a bunch of chairs. And you're like, well, I can build chairs. I don't need, yeah. Well, that's how it goes. So I've queued up some stuff here that's going to go ahead and get built over time. and as soon as it's built, it'll get placed in this house. So as you can see, they've already progressed. I'm gonna change this. Oh yeah, okay. They don't have a roof yet, or they're missing a wall, and they're missing a wall. Normally, I use a kind of different view mode, so you can see into the rooms, but then it never shows you the roof. So it does get a bit confusing sometimes, but we'll see what happens. So, this day is almost ending. As you can see up here, you've got a thing, a clock, which tells us that it's late, and it is deep moon too. So yeah, that's kind of the basics of the game. I think that's enough of a first look. I will probably continue this game, over maybe another few episodes at least, just to see how the trade system plays out. Is it noticeable? Morale attributes. Let's see his morale. My meal was raw. I slept on the ground. I'm fatigued. Oh, he's glum. Yeah, I guess I should have prioritized beds a bit sooner. But that's how it goes. There's a bunch of beds now. I'm gonna go ahead and actually I'll do this the easy way. So here you go, place, and there's the beds. So I'm gonna go ahead and stick a couple of beds in the middle of the forest. It's like camping. Well, yeah, it's pretty much exactly camping. Sure, their bed is a bit more solid than some rolled up, sleeping bag on the floor, but it doesn't look all that good. It's just a bunch of wood and I guess hay or grass. Not that impressive. Anyway, there will be furniture here at some point. I think there will be a bed inside this house. I mean, I hope that is kind of the point of a house. So you can see he's going to have a chair and a little table here. I think there's a bed somewhere over here, and then this is like a little desk, I think, or something. What is it? A dresser. Fair enough. Well, we'll see what it looks like when it's done. This is the front door. It should be nicely lit up. It'll be visible from across the lake. So I can spread some houses out around the lake, perhaps. But we'll see how far we get. Anyway, this is Stonehearth. This is how it's shaping up now in the current version. This is an early access game, so it's not actually out yet. I'm not sure how long they've been going either. I've been playing it for at least a couple of months, so it has been around a while. They seem to be making decent progress, but there are some persistent bugs that are frustrating. So sometimes your house will just kind of get messed up and you can't finish it, or some things get bugged and the construction order will never finish. Sometimes the people get stuck on an order and you can't tell what's going on. So you might have to actually cancel. Like I was going to cancel the dig order there. That's happened to me before, where I had a big dig order and then somehow it got stuck and nobody could do anything and they all just stood around idle. So I've had that happen a few times, which usually just ends up in me closing off the colony and waiting for the next version. We'll see how long this one lasts. Hopefully it's doing well. Hopefully they've fixed some bugs. But yeah, that'll be next time. Hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks.